Okay. Ah. Oh, nice. Wow, that's awesome. Alright, let's get updated here. What is going on? It's espionage probe, right? Okay.
I'm on my way.
Mine shaft. That's the source of the signal.
Nice.
This smells.
I agree. This thing didn't crash. Somebody moved it here.
They may not know what they have. Let's find it before they set it off.
Right.
F6. I should know that. Oh, that's decent sized mine. And that's the probe, right? Yeah, great. In before finding that there's plenty of people here. Do I have my pistol? Okay. Thought for sure there'd be something back here. Out of my way, Caden. Oh, for Christmas sake. Alright. Alright, so there's gonna be something here then, obviously. There's absolutely no way that there's not enemies here. Far too quiet. Certainly got the atmospherics down, I'll give them that. Should probably check over to the right first. Oh, locked. That's interesting. That freaked me out.
That was a detonator. Someone just screwed us.
Shepard, at last.
Who the hell are you?
You have me at a disadvantage.
My name is Ilanos Halliot. I doubt you know it. Who do you think runs the Terminus clan, Shepard, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of every stripe?
Charming.
In most criminal organizations, it's the one who's recognized as the most successful.
That's correct. The one who kills the most men, seizes the most ships, pillages the most colonies. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We would drive your kind out of the Verge.
So tempted to say nice try, genius.
You're the one behind the attack on Elysium.
I was the motivator, the instigator. The one who promised glory and riches for sacking the largest human colony in the cluster. The one blamed when it failed. Failed! I was ruined when your kind held against the Blitz. What better way to recover my reputation than by eliminating the first human Spectre?
So you're blaming me for this screw up?
My crew will come for me.
Let them. We'll
Hey Lego, what's up,
ready.
man?
An Alliance warship would make a fine prize. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, the ores here are laced with heavy metals. I'm afraid your suit radios aren't
Yes,
powerful enough
Valentine's
to
Day.
transmit out.
It doesn't have to be like this, Halliot.
Empty words from a dead man. Goodbye, Shepard.
What do we do now, Commander?
We've got air and light, and the Normandy's still in orbit. Let's look for another way out.
Totally understand. Whew. Oh, there's two sides. I was like, what the hell? What? Oh, I got it. Man. I was like, what the hell? Oh, cool. I doubt it, Lego, because Satobo has got Valentine's Day responsibilities with the missus. And so I really don't want to start again until I know about... Which Omni Gel do I have? 221. Okay. Still was a lot. I panicked about that. So I don't want to get started until at least we can finish up with that. With the whatchamacallit, with him doing the mapping, and then once we're done with that, hopefully the next one, Citadel of Chaos, will not be as map heavy. So that is why I'm playing Mass Effect. So if he comes on later, then I'm happy to play Warlock, but otherwise we'll have to wait until tomorrow evening to do that. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to just basically make it easy and just say, here, just go wherever. And I'm not going to do the mapping myself. So I am going to take down Halliot, that punk. So hopefully he will be here and we won't have to worry about it, but I do not know for sure. Go there, I can go here. Alrighty. So now I'll have to obviously fight my way out. He should be. As far as I know, he's going to be on tomorrow. Here we are on the surface. This is gonna be fun. Oh. Duh. It's right down there. Oh, wait a second. That place is crawling with...
More shields.
Jeez, Caden, really? Good night.
I've lost shields!
Who's hitting me? How can you be hitting me from there?
I've lost shields!
Ow. Back up, back up, back up.
I've lost shields!
On my way, Rex. Haha. From a distance, I took you out. Oh, yeah. That's right. So did I wipe him out in the process? I'm going to go down and check. Managed to kill him in the process. Good. Couldn't tell from that distance where it was, but I figured as long as I stayed up there, it was worth doing. Oh. Hi, Caden. What the hell are you doing up there? I guess he slid all the way down the hill. Nice. Alright. When I get back on the Normandy, I have to actually talk to my crew members, something I haven't done so far for a long time. So much for the alleged best criminal ever. Alright, let's get back onto the Normandy. And then I gotta go talk to some crew, which I haven't done in a while. Oops. Oh, good lord, now I have to... which means I have to navigate around. Alright, Presley first.
Yes, Commander?
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people.
Yeah, goodbye.
Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Alright, that's wonderful. Don't care. Alright, now I gotta go downstairs. Talk to my peeps. Also, I haven't checked my locker in a long time, too. Alright. Let's start with you, Caden. How's life?
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Another L2 flare-up.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
I haven't heard anything about Kinetics in a while.
Yeah, they quietly disappeared. Broke up into a bunch of little corps after they botched the training on Jump Zero. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
Oh, yeah, Lego?
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic.
Hey, Brahms, what's up?
Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges for that?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else at Jump Zero, was under the table. The less said, the better. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago.
What was the Lego?
I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezi anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway, it should set him back a bit. I'm sure Dr. Tassoni's hurting, though. Poor kid. Having to kill her own mom.
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record? If we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. Kaiden, and that's why you're
We'll talk
discussing
another
it.
time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Alright. I have not done this for much of the game for a long time, so I needed to chat with my crew and get a sense of where things are at. Sure did let the Queen live, absolutely. I read Ender's Game, man. I've read Ender's Game. I know this deal. I don't go after races that got wrongfully pulled out for their own uses. Oh, that's interesting, Lego. So what did you say? Gotta remember to do that. more than I have been. I'm gonna talk to Dr. Chuckwus in just a minute. I'll talk to her now.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen
Yeah,
special
please don't,
commendations.
Proms, because this is my
Tends
first
to keep to
playthrough
himself, though.
of any
Maybe
of this.
because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
Oh yeah, we talked about this, didn't we, Brahms? That you were you're the guy who lives in Connecticut and Yukon. Oh, good call. Well, the only problem with that is that would the Kindle be like powered all the time? Like, could you get more books through it, or would it like just run out after a while? Yeah, Dove chocolates. Yeah, that's right. I remember. That's cool. Yukon's a good place. Oh, nice. Where are you going, Brahms? What part of stores? When I was there, I lived in North, which was the jungle at the time, and then I lived in South, which was awesome. And after the year after I left, they ended up razing it to the ground, and they were going to rebuild it as something else. So, if the spaceship had Wi-Fi, yeah.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance
Oh, I
ship?
already asked this.
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe. Too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventures.
Yeah. Well, that
I
was
wanted
exactly
to
it.
travel the stars, tending
North
the
sucked,
wounds
but
of
South
soldiers
was
with
amazing.
piercing eyes
I
and
loved
sensitive
South.
souls.
That was my senior year.
Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined.
A lot of good people there.
But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse. And the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Well, you know, it's interesting. When
I
I
should go.
when I was
Goodbye,
when I was at UConn Hartford, when they transferred us over, the reason I got in the North in the first place was because they were sort of on the level of freshmen in terms of housing priority. Like, people who had been on stores the whole time got better priority, so I kind of got screwed in that regard. Okay, I got to talk to Liara in a minute. So it's interesting that they've changed things around, but I'm glad that you got priority because, yeah, the jungle sucked. There's no other way to put it. My junior year was not so fun regarding that, but senior year was great, and then at South, and then for my master's degree at UConn, I moved off campus right nearby, actually, in Willington, Caesar Road, which is not that far, very close, actually. So. Oh, good. Yeah, good. Probably because of people like me.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
You don't feel bad?
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
He lives in the East Coast.
She was. She was not.
I think he lives in
I prefer to
North
remember
Carolina.
Benezia as she used to be.
God, I don't
Before
remember.
she was
I should
corrupted
know.
by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
Benezia was swept up in events beyond her control and lost herself. She fell under the spell of indoctrination and became part of the very thing she wanted to stop. But I will remember...
Paragon,
not
Brahms.
how
Pretty
she
strongly
lived,
Paragon.
not how she died. My mother was strong, kind, and beautiful. And now she is gone.
I'm trying to think about the whole romance thing. Kind of like Ashley. Probably more Ashley than I am Liara. Although in general I'd be more Liara. But Liara is a little too... I don't know, a little too mealy-mouthed. She's like, well, the universe, this and that, and blah, 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 hippie. Like, oh, God.
Are you going to be okay?
You are kind to ask, Shepard. I do miss her, and I grieve for what happened to her. But I will not let my grief interfere with what we are trying to accomplish.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling
I
me
haven't
about
talked
your
to any
interest
of my
in the
crew
Proteus.
members for, like,
Actually,
15
I
hours
think
of
I
play
was
through this
talking
game,
about
so...
my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
Yeah.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage.
I know. I was
You
just thinking, like,
humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
+1, Brahms. That's a good line. F you, future. That's really funny. So, is there? I'm trying to remember. I should know this, but it's. I mean, I graduated from UConn '94, and I got my master's in '96. It's been a long time, but I'm trying to remember. They had. So there was north, there was south. They had east too, right? Was it east that's in the middle of nowhere? I mean, I know there was a couple stuff that you had to like take a bus to get to it. Not north, but there was. I don't know if it was east or what, where you had to like literally take a bus to get from that to the center campus. Which is why, as much as I hated north, I was glad that I could at least walk to my classes. But east is the farthest dorms. Yeah, okay. East was like way out there. That was always the place where people were like, "I live in East." I'm like, "Well, I'll never see you again," because like getting to and from there was just crazy talk. But no, I really liked UConn. Actually, I got a lot out of it. It was a really good start for me, and it has a good English department that I felt happy to get my master's from. And then I ended up going from there to Brandeis, which is where I got my doctorate, and that was a very good program. So I got a good start at UConn, and I liked it. Yeah, UConn is a good place. You know what they had when I was there? They had a place that delivered you chocolate chip cookies. It was like a pizza store, but it was cookies. So they would just bring you a box, and it was just like box of cookies that you could just cut. Oh, it's the most amazing thing. 1 in the morning. I'm really hungry. Here, let's get a box of chocolate chip cookies. Completely horrific for you. Totally awesome.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully.
Oh yeah, Brahms.
You
Yeah.
run over anyone in your path to get what you want.
Well, it generally isn't in mine
it is
either.
up to people like you
but
to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer.
yes, well, I am the
looked
best.
into your history. I know what happened on Akuz. The fact that you survived shows a remarkable strength.
Why are you so interested in me?
I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Well, actually, you know what, Brahms? I've put 30 hours into this. It's just that I did a ton of side quests when I played this on my old lousy computer back almost, I think I got it maybe a year after it came out, so like 2008 or something like that. And then I was so sick of the way that my computer was running with it, I just got tired of it. But I had done pretty much every side quest except for one Citadel side quest. And that was all. And then when I started playing it now, not only am I able to stream it, which is a lot of fun, but I'm playing it on a legit computer. So I'm like, wow, it's amazing how cool this game is when you're not constantly frustrated by a lousy computer playing it. So I'm actually really having a good time. But I'm looking forward to the whole trilogy. I'm more of a fantasy guy than a science fiction guy. But that said, I wanted to play through this story. And I've always liked BioWare stuff anyway. So.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings.
Well, let me tell you what's appropriate.
There might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
Oh, man, I've already got to make a decision. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this decision. Oh, man. I got to think about that. Yes, it's not serious. But I don't know, like, it's not serious will be kind of the neutral answer, so it kind of keeps things on the down low. Is that the idea? Yes, I do have a doctorate in English, and yes, I am a college professor. A tenured professor, actually.
Williams and I are just friends, nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that?
God, man. I don't want to say no. I don't want to say you were wrong. So I'm wondering if I just want to be friends and keep it open again. Because if I say I'm attracted to you, I'm not. If it were between me, it would be like. It would be Ashley right now if I'm choosing between the two of them. But neither one of them really floats my boat. I have to be honest. No, I do not, actually, Lego. In fact, I'm not teaching my next class till a week from now because we have President's Day off. So I'm going to be doing got some writing to do over the next few days. So Brahms, I don't want you to tell me like what I don't want you to like I don't want you to spoil the game for me, but just tell me this. If I say I just want to be friends, does that totally preclude a romance with her later? Just tell me that part. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say I'm attracted to her, but I also don't want to tell her, give her the brush off. Okay. All right.
I'm not interested in you in that way, Liara.
This is very embarrassing for me, Commander. Please, let's talk about something else.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole.
Okay.
Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Yeah, Liara, I'm not so wild on. I'd actually be. I find Tally the most intriguing. I don't know about like a romantic interest. And Lego, yes, I am married, but this is not IRL. This is in the game style. In game terms, if I were looking at the choice of the two sort of three female options, Tally's the most interesting to me. Liara's kind of like, eh. And Ashley is just sort of obvious. Like, I guess she's the best looking theoretically, but like, and it's like, yes sir, no sir, I'm a soldier. Like, I don't know. None of these people has really like blown me away in that regard. Whereas in, let's say, Dragon Age, I was all about the what was her name? The Bard, not the Bard. The one who was from the other country, the French the country that sounded like France. God, what was her name? I don't know.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their
I think I remember
individual and
talking to her
racial
about this
identities.
now. God, it's been so long since I dealt with this
We then
part.
pass these traits onto our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Well, we eat them like praying
Every
mantis.
relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Who was your father?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Yeah.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species.
Caden's a bro,
if both
yeah.
parents are Asari, then nothing has been
My
gained.
problem with Caden is the
Or
constant
so
whining about
ritual
his
wisdom
implants.
told
Like,
me.
oh, my
I am
implants,
what is
blah, blah, blah.
sometimes
Like, oh,
called
God, I know, dude.
pure blood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people.
It's really interesting that
It
pure
is
blood is
possible
considered an
Benezia's
insult
partner
here.
was embarrassed by
That's
their
clever.
union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right.
Yes.
I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure.
Yeah, I agree, Brahms.
Venezia never
It's,
spoke of her partner.
subtlety is
Whatever
not
happened,
always
it
the Mass
cost her too
Effect
much
stock
pain
and
to
trade.
dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Okay. Information from Liara. That was good. What do we got here? Oh. Asari religion. Oh, yes. I like Rex a lot. The pantheistic mainstream Asari religion is Siari, which translates roughly as all is one. The faithful agree on certain core truths. The universe is a consciousness. Every life within it is an aspect of the greater whole. Death is a merging of one's spiritual energy back into the greater universal consciousness. Siaris don't specifically believe in reincarnation. They believe that spiritual energy returned to the universal consciousness upon death will eventually be used to fill new mortal vessels. Siari became popular after the Asari left their homeworld and discovered their ability to meld with nearly any form of life. This ability is seen as proof that all life is fundamentally similar. Siari priestesses see their role as promoting unity between the disparate shards of the universe's awareness. Before the rise of Siari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of those days is the monotheistic religion worshipping the goddess Athame. Like the Asari, the goddess cycles through the triple aspects of maiden, matron, and matriarch. Okay. That's exciting. Let's quick save that. Alright, I got some more people to talk to. And that does not include Dr. Chakwas. Where the hell is his... I know... Where is Shepard's locker? Gotta be somewhere else. I gotta find his locker, because I haven't been to his locker in like 15 hours either. That's sci-fi. Maybe it's on this side. Yeah, I think it may be on this side. Blah, blah, blah. Where is your locker? I did talk to Chakwas already. I talked to her before, and I started talking to her again, and she's like, yeah, let me just say stuff that I've already said to you. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's not very interesting. Okay, I've already been down here, I think. Okay. So, that's charming. More stuff to do. Let's head down the elevator. I think he does, yeah. And I have to speak to Garrus. I have to say, you know, everybody loves Garrus. I'm not wild about Garrus. I mean, he's a cool character, but I mean, I don't talk to him and I'm like, wow, Garrus, you're so awesome. Like, I don't... Caden annoys me a little bit. I like Rex a lot. Rex and Caden's usually a good combination for me, just in terms of teams. Garrus is okay, but like, I don't know. I'm not wild about him.
Looking for supplies?
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Oh, I already know this.
Manufacturers sell... Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
I already got the
Let's see
licenses.
what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Okay, well that's cool. Oh, look at... Whoa. Whoa, look at some of this stuff. Holy Christmas. Finally, there's actually a better thing that I can buy. Alright, let me... I'm an infiltrator, so I want to kind of stick with that stuff if I can. Yeah, that's not better. That's certainly not better. So really... Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Hey, Mojo. What's up, man? Alright, I'm going to get that. And... we'll probably get that shotgun, and that's it. Okay. Oh, do you? Damn it! Okay, I'll have to keep that. Well, actually, I can sell a bunch of crap, so that should be fine. Now that I think of it. Alright, what am I at here? Yeah, so I'm going to get rid of the 4s now. Except for that. Except for the gladiator. Okay, cool. Alright, now I get rid of duplicates. Any 5 duplicates I get rid of. The inventory system in Mass Effect 1 is broken because you just... No. Like, there's no... I should not be able to carry all this stuff. Wait. I do not need... I wish there was another way to synchronize this. Okay. Okay, so I've got a scorpion. Okay, so I've got an exoskeleton. Let's see if I have another exoskeleton. Edge, Kessler, Raikou, Stiletto. Do I have... I have a Raikou, a Striker. Okay, I have a Raikou and a Striker, so I can get rid of... Alright, what else we got? Avenger, Lancer, Scimitar, Raptor. Okay, let's see. Let's do it this way. I have a Raikou, a Striker, Avenger, Scimitar, Banshee, Thunder, Tsunami, Hurricane, Katana. Crap, I wish there's a way to just... I wish there's other ways to organize this. So I could, like, compare like and like. Edge, Kessler, Stiletto. Let's see. Let's see. Scimitar 5. Scimitar 6. Wait a minute. Damn. Edge, Kessler, Stiletto, and Stinger. Okay, let me take a look at the pistols. That's a little bit easier to do. Okay. So that's fine. So now let's take a look at assault rifles. Avenger and Lancer. Actually, Avenger, Lancer, Raptor, Terminator, Tsunami. Avenger. Okay, so I can sell the Avenger and the Tsunami. I mean, the thing is, I haven't had to buy anything for a long time because I just keep finding much better stuff. So, alright, let's see. Lancer and Terminator. Okay, I'm getting there though. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of what I found as I was playing through it, so that's good. That agrees. Hammer, Naginata, or Striker. Let's see. Hammer and Striker. Alright, so I can sell my Hammer and Striker. That's good. Good. Alright. Let's see. Avenger and Reaper. Have any other Avengers or Reapers? No. Okay. Sorry, this is not exciting, guys. I'll be done with this in a minute. Oh. I'm like staring right at an upgrade. Like, I have exactly the same thing. Okay, so I can get rid of that. Okay, good. Oh, thanks, Mojo. Yeah, I'm just trying to... like, inventory management is not very exciting. And I'm going to get through it pretty quickly. But, what the hell? Raptor, Terminator, Raptor, Terminator, Raptor, Terminator. Alright, let's take a look at shotguns. I've got a Scimitar, a Firestorm, a Hurricane, Katana, and a Tornado. Hurricane Katana. Alright, so I can get rid of Hurricane and Katana for sure. Alright. Okay, let's see. That's getting better. Firestorm and Tornado. Okay, Sniper. Let's see. So I have a Hammer 6 and a Striker 6. Do I have... Nope, those are all the same. Exoskeleton 6. Okay. Shield Modulator. Shield Modulator 6, okay. I can sell my Shield Modulator 5. Don't need both of those, especially since he can't use it yet. Alright, let's see. Almost there. Shield Modulator 6, and Shield Modulator, Exoskeleton, and Energized Weave. Alright. I think that's just about all. Scorpion 6. Alright, that's 513. That's not bad.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Let me just double check this quickly. Right, okay. Alright, good. Okay, let's save that up. Quick save, alright. More crew talk. Alright, Garrus, what do you got to say?
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate.
I love how everything that Shepard ever asks is always the same way. It's just like, I'll bet you have. How about I ask you this in the exact same deadpan way that I ask everything? I see your right arm has fallen off. Perhaps it can help you reattach that. I don't understand why your head has fallen on the floor. Maybe you should think about why. You know, like...
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
Yeah, he is.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
That wouldn't surprise me. Krogan testicles? He just was like, Krogan testicles?
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work.
Testicle transplant, huh?
They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
They have 4 testicles?
Somebody's making a killing out there.
Actually, it doesn't surprise me that Krogans have 4 testicles, actually.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatened? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh.
Yeah.
That was our big
No, I know. I read about. Yeah, I'd read
just
that,
Dr.
Brahms. Yeah.
Leon's employees.
Feel kind of bad for the
Test
Krogan.
tubes, walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
This is freaky.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs. But they wouldn't listen.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, but letting him get away like that. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Saleon?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke.
Dr. Hart.
I told the military. but
Owner
they
of a
can't
Dr. Hart.
I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
Side quest.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Saleon, I want to be there when you find him.
Alrighty. We got us another quest. The Turian homeworld, Palaven, has a metal-poor core generating a weak magnetic field and allowing more solar radiation in the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Palaven evolve some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. The reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long-term low-level radiation exposure, but they do not possess any sort of natural armor. A Turian's thick skin does not stop projectiles and directed energy bolts. Yeah, Valentine's Day in the Citadel. Although life on Palaven is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextro amino acids. This places the Turians in a distinct minority in the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sapient dextro-protein race. The food of humans, Asari or Solarians, who evolved in levo amino acid-based biospheres, will at best pass through Turian systems without providing any nutrition. At worst, it will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated. That's good to know. Alright. Find Dr. Saleon. Okay. That sounds good. I will be able to do that side quest. First, I gotta talk to some other peoples, though. Gotta talk to Ashley, gotta talk to Tali, gotta talk to Rex. Let's start with Ashley.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now?
Hey, Pin.
Saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Oh, tell me about your family.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting you could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and dad both wanted to see new worlds.
A whole new
She gave
world.
up her career to raise us, though.
Yeah, Penn, we were just having this discussion, Brahms and I, about the romance options here, and pretty much none of these people float my boat. I'm not really interested in Liara, as of yet. Ashley doesn't really grab me, like soldier, blah blah blah. And then I find Tali the most interesting story-wise, but so far I haven't, in terms of like Shepard in this game, I haven't been like, oh yeah, that's the person I should romance.
You have more than one sister?
Yeah, Liara.
Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
There is something a little bit bizarre about the fact that I'm sitting here trying to save the universe, and I'm talking to her about like, oh, so sister problems, right? Like, but it's appropriate, right? It's Valentine's Day, so.
Where were you when this was going on?
No means no.
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods.
That's funny, Penn.
He figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
I can't believe I'm having this discussion.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand-to-hand.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it.
Whoops, I asked this already.
Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. They do great things to her figure, though.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years.
Exactly.
Like a day's cruise.
Exactly,
It's not like it was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up punch. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. and she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
That was pointless. I should be like, so should we take a walk in the forest? Like,
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all.
sounds
Was
good,
he
Pen.
unemployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there.
The words of Elton John. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your
I will
kids.
drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Bored now.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped
Yeah,
he
I
recorded
think
me
it's gonna
reading it.
be a
He had
long,
dozen
long
versions when he
time.
retired.
Oh no, no, no. I'm Shepherd.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back.
It's a good song.
He's probably still watching though.
I think
So behave.
Behave. I think my favorite Elton John song is probably Someone Saved My Life Tonight. He's got a lot of good ones though. Madman Across the Water is solid too. I've seen Elton John in concert with Billy Joel.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
You know that old saw, there's never an atheist in a foxhole? I've been in a lot of foxholes.
Yeah, I guess you have. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez.
Better than Liberace, right?
Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Skipper. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours.
That's correct. Was.
If you haven't talked to Dr. Tassoni, you probably should. She just lost her mom. That has to hurt.
I did talk to her, thanks
Just
though.
saying, Skipper.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Alright. So now we just have Rex and Tali. What's going on with this? The Alliance military. Oh, is it really? Well, it's kind of unfortunate there isn't more, a little bit more of the religious doctrine to kind of add into everything else, because they have so much other stuff. The Alliance military is of great concern to the galaxy. At first contact with the Turians, they were completely inexperienced. Turian disdain changed to respect after the relief of Shanxi, where the humans surprised them with novel technologies and tactics. The human devotion to understanding and adapting to modern space warfare stunned the Stade Council races. For hundreds of years they had lived behind secure walls of long-proven technologies and tactics. The Council regards the Alliance as a sleeping giant. Less than 3% of humans volunteer to serve in their military, a lower proportion than any other species. While competent, Alliance soldiers are neither as professional as the Turians nor as skilled as the Asari. Their strengths lie in fire support, flexibility, and speed. They make up for lack of numbers with sophisticated technical support, VIs, drones, artillery, electronic warfare, emphasis on mobility and individual initiative, and all-around awesome. I just made that up. Their doctrine is not based on absorbing and dishing out heavy shocks like the Turians and Krogan. Rather, they bypass enemy strongpoints and launch deep into their rear, cutting supply lines and destroying headquarters and support units, leaving enemies to wither on the vine. On defense, the human military is a rapid reaction force that lives by Sun Tzu's maxim, "He who tries to defend everything defends nothing." Garrisons are intended for scouting rather than combat, avoiding engagement to observe and report on invaders using drones. The token garrisons of human colonies make it easy for alien powers to secure them, for which the Alliance media criticizes the military. However, the powerful fleets stationed at phase gate nexuses, such as Arcturus, are just a few hours or days from any colony within their sphere of responsibility. In the event of an attack, they respond with overwhelming force. That's interesting. That's the way they used to handle it in Star Trek also. Yeah, it's good stuff. Alright, let's see. What about my damn locker? Okay. Alright, Rex.
What do you want, Shepard?
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Really solid character models on a lot of these.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out.
I know, right?
None of us are interested in
it's very efficient.
our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
I must already have talked to him about a bunch of stuff. Alright. Still need to find his freaking locker. And I need to find Tally. So, let's see if I can do that. Yeah, hey, I agree. Hey, what's up, G? Good to see you, man. G, let me know again. Please let me know when you find when you get the book, because I just confirmed again. I looked at my thing and I did send it off to you. So make sure you tell me, okay? And Morris, what's up, Morris? Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you in before, but hello. Let's see, I got Tali, I got Engineer Adams. Let me talk to the crew quick, and then I'll see what. It's pretty badass right there. Looks a little bit dangerous. You just have like complete exposures, like a little rail there, and that's it.
Something I can do for you, Commander.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing.
Yep, that's usually true.
Only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. She's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
I liked Dragon Age until close to the end. About 2/3 of the way through, I started getting really bored with it. Again, the inventory and the combat system annoyed me. And I literally, I think I was like coming up to the last building in the last city and stopped. So I don't know. I never finished Dragon Age 1. It was fine. I liked parts of it, but the other parts of it I was like, eh. And I heard that Dragon Age 2 is terrible. But... Oh yeah, Lego?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo. Only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
All right, Tally. It's time you and me talked.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Starin's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
Well, Shepard right now looks more or less a little bit the way I do. So I kind of made him to look a little bit like me. And I kind of like that, actually, so that he doesn't look like every other freaking Shepard with that stare, you know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. You guys don't know the joy. At the time I had a goatee, and I have a beard now, full beard, but it's slightly reddish with blonde hair. So I was like, Shepard is me.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
Pin? So random, Pin. Yes, if you want.
My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just...
Oh, good. Well, I hope you like him, Lego.
But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
So what if we save the galaxy?
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average...
I loved the flotilla concept, by the way. The whole Quarian flotilla thing, I really like that concept.
But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
Hey, what's that, Lego?
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating...
Oh, really, G? Yeah, that's cool.
But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership.
That's bizarre.
He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard.
That's really bizarre.
But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with. And he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile.
I mean, I can't remember seeing you smile. Oh,
It's like he was always
sorry,
down
kind
by
of
all
a
that
personal
responsibility.
comment.
I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it. Not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
Oh yeah, Lego.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filter starts to break
I like that
down.
concept too,
I think my father
that
took
they
it
don't
really
have much of
hard.
an immune system because of
After
their
she was
sterile
gone,
environment of
he
the
became
flotilla.
even more focused on his work.
I'm not
I
mocking
think it
them.
was his
They're
way
just
of
wearing
dealing with
masks.
grief.
Just stating facts.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy.
Problems.
Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child.
Oh,
If
China and the one-child
population grows too
policy.
much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
Yeah, that's true.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must...
See, I like that system. You get one veto and then you're done.
That served us well.
It's like a bee, you know, stings you and it dies.
The Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Alright, what about the Geth?
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people
It's been
into exile.
1 week since you looked at me.
All I know is
Sorry.
the story of their origins.
Bare naked lady moment.
What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Tell me.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't
No
true
spoiling the
either.
ending, any of you.
We may have
This is all new to me now.
But we never did
Mass
anything
Effect
that
1
was
on, so
actually illegal.
no spoiling, please.
The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Okay, Mojo.
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
Okay. Like a hive mind.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
Well, that's fine. Just keep them separate all the time, you know?
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to...
I just don't understand why this wouldn't have, why the Quarians wouldn't have seen this coming from a mile off. I mean, like, they should have seen this was going to happen.
What is my purpose?
You know, like...
As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Yeah, well, like, it's your own fault for setting it up this way, like...
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor.
Oh, that's why, G.
For machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long.
But really, this, like, oh, we had no idea. I just don't buy that nonsense. It's typical, like, scientist hear no evil, see no evil stuff. Like, well, we're just doing the work. Like, you couldn't figure out that the Geth were going to be a danger?
Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth.
Well, Durbin, don't, I was hoping that I would, so don't spoil it for me, man. What's up, by the way? Yeah, I'm kind of interested in Tali. I mean, her story, definitely.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began.
That's okay, man.
The hope was that most of the Geth would still be living machines, incapable of organized resistance.
That's a good thought, Brahms. I'll do that after I end the cast later.
Much further than
good
anyone
call.
Anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us.
Yeah, as long as you avoid the specific stuff. But I haven't, I've only played like 2/3 of the way through this, or 60% or whatever it actually is. I think it's like 60%.
If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Well, I mean, specifics from this game is fine. You can be like, I find Tali's awesome, or Liara's awesome. That's fine. You guys are welcome to talk about this game. I don't mind it. Like, I'm not that hypersensitive about it, guys. I just don't want people to be like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it when Tali's head was cut off, or something. Like, you know, that's stuff I don't want. But as far as, like, general discussion about the races or the stories, that's fine. Don't worry about that. You can totally talk about Mass Effect. That's fine. Just don't, you know, don't do any of the obvious stuff. That's all. What are we doing here? Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society.
Still love the flotilla concept.
Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Shut up, Brahms. God damn it, now I know everything. It really sucked when Normandy became an ice cream cone. It was terrible.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are
Xanos
given
would say more than that,
lessons on how to
Mojo.
survive
I think it's
outside
the
the
accent.
flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I think I got it all. Alright.
I should go.
See you later.
I should go. Alright. Although the Conclave establishes civil law much as any planet-based democracy, enforcement and trials... Yeah, don't... Durbin, don't worry about it, dude. You're fine, man. Don't worry about it. Although the Conclave establishes civil law much as any planet-based democracy, enforcement and trials are more unique. After the flight from the Geth... I can do that. After the flight from the Geth, there were few constables to police the millions of civilians aboard the fleet, so the many Navy parceled out Marine squads to maintain order and enforce the law. And that's when it became aliens, colonial Marines, and everyone hated it. No. Today, Quarian Marines have evolved training and tactics akin to civilian police, but remain adept at combat in the confined spaces of a starship, and fully under the command of the military. Once taken into custody, the accused is brought before the ship's captain for judgment. While the ship's council may make recommendations, tradition holds that the captain has absolute authority in matters of discipline. Most are lenient, assigning additional or more odious maintenance tasks aboard the ship. Persistent recidivists are accidentally left in the next habitable world. This practice of abandoning criminals on other people's planets is a point of friction between the Quarians and the systems they pass through. Captains rarely have another choice, with space and resources at a premium. Supporting a non-productive prison population is not an option. In the early years, many Quarian freighters were armed and used as irregular privateers. Civilian ships still show a strong preference for armament, making them unpopular targets for pirates. Though they have rebuilt their military, there are still mere hundreds of warships to protect tens of thousands of ships. The Quarian Navy follows strict routines of patrol and takes no chances. If the intent of an approaching ship can't be ascertained, they shoot to kill. Yeah, it's totally true, G. It's interesting. Oh, there's more Codex stuff. What else? What else? Oh, Quarians' religion. The ancient Quarians practiced ancestor worship. Even after abandoning faith for secularism, Quarians continued to revere the wisdom of elders. As time passed and technology advanced, they inevitably turned their knowledge to preserving the personalities and memories of the elderly as computer virtual intelligences. These recordings became a repository of knowledge and wisdom, stored in a central databank and available through any extranet connection. They held no illusions that this was a form of immortality. Like all virtual intelligences, their electronically preserved ancestors were not truly sapient. This was considered a surmountable problem. Sapience could surely be reduced to simple mathematics. The Quarians began exhaustive research into creating artificial intelligence so they could learn to escape the bounds of mortality and give their ancestral records true awareness. Unfortunately, the life the Quarians created did not accept the same truths they did. The Geth destroyed the ancestor databanks when they took over. In the centuries since they evacuated their homeworld, most Quarians have returned to religion in various forms. Many believe that the rise of the Geth and the destruction of their ancestors were chastisement for arrogantly forsaking the old ways and venerating self-made idols. Others have a more philosophical outlook, believing that their race was indeed arrogant, but no supernatural agency lay behind the Geth revolt. Rather, the Quarians' actions wrought their own doom. Either way, every Quarian would agree that their own hubris cost them their homeworld. Yeah, I really like the whole setup of the Quarians, I have to say. I really like the way that they're... Of all the races, I find them the most interesting. Like, I like Rex, but Rex is basically a Klingon. I mean, let's be honest. Like, that's what Rex is. And you could say the same thing about a lot of them. Like, you know, the Turians, I don't really know what to make of them. There's always, like, some kind of, like, vaguely psychic, you know, like, in tune with the universe type of race, like the Asari, and the humans are the humans. But when it comes to stuff like, I really think that the most interesting, unusual race are the Quarians, the, you know, scientist-oriented and everything, and then, like, so. Okay, to find where the devil his, okay, I've talked to Ashley, Rex, Garrus, and Tali. Alright, so I've talked to everybody. I just need to go find my locker. I don't remember where it is. That's true, the Solarians. Yeah, but the Solarians are just the egghead. They're just like the egghead nerd types. You know? I mean, there's the Solarians are like, oh, we're super smart. Like, okay. You know? Okay. It's Liara. Captain's office. Oh, is that me? My office is... Where the hell's my office? No, I'm just saying. I'm only speaking the truth, man. Alright, where's my locker? Show me my locker. This is my office. Where is my locker? Don't I have a locker? Where is Shepard's locker? Does he have one? I don't know if I did. Ugh. You think that makes it look better? All of a sudden I'm playing Borderlands. Ugh. No, no, no. Ugh. No thank you. Sorry, G. I gotta disagree with you on that one. I apologize, but I'll have to disagree. Respectfully disagree. It just looks too cel-shaded otherwise. You think it's downstairs where I was? God damn it. Where? I mean, I know where theirs are. I know where the staff is. But, like... Lab and storage. Could it be... I really want to find his locker. I know he has one somewhere. And I haven't been there in like 15 hours of playing this game. That's the aid station. Which was already full anyway. It's Liara. Yeah, that's what I looked. I went there. I just went there, but it's not there. I don't remember. Let me try downstairs quickly. But I thought I did that. Liara, Tali, Rex, Garrus, Caden, Ashley. No, see, that's all theirs. That's all of their lockers. Liara, Tali, Rex, Garrus, Caden, Ashley. Yeah, that's all their stuff. Where's my locker? On the outside of the med bay. Oh, alright. Thanks, 8-Ball. Let me see. I haven't been back there in so long. I'm finally like gathering all this information that I knew years ago when I first played this game. Okay. Outside of the med bay, huh? Oh, is that my locker right there? That open thing right there? Oh, okay. I thought it, for some reason, I thought I heard that it restocked or something, but I guess not. Alright. Good. Okay. That means we're all done talking to people. So we are good. So I gotta do the side. Got 2 side quests to do. I've got to take care of the Citadel fan is the only Citadel quest I have. But I'm probably, actually...
Yes, Commander?
Oh, no, not you.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
You guys can actually help me with this. So I've got this side quest that I need to do, which is to find Dr. Solan. But this Citadel quest right here, the main story is going to bring me back to the Citadel again, and I can do this side quest then, right? You understand what I'm asking? Like, I don't have to go, I don't have to make a special trip back to the Citadel to do this, right? Or do I? The Citadel, the last Citadel quest, the fan one. Because otherwise I want to do this side quest, and then I'm probably going to go to... then I have to decide between going to Vermeer or Pharos. Probably I'll go to Pharos, but... better safe than sorry. Alright. Alright, let me take that last one out. Kind of lame I have to go back for that thing, but alright. Let's do it up. Citadel time. Oh, you do? Oh, alright. Okay. 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 Let's do it. I know, I love it. I'm telling you, the first time I saw this on this actual legit computer, I was like, oh, this is what the game is supposed to be. It's supposed to be awesome. The Normandy is a sweet looking ship, man. Normandy is a badass ship. It really is. Alright. Yeah, I do too. Alright. Let's go take care of the Citadel fan. I'll take Rex and Caden.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere.
One can only hope. You know, sometimes
Logged.
Caden has a lame
Commanding
helmet like
officer
this.
Is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Well, I guess maybe when he's just like out in like oxygen environments, but when he's out in space, Caden's helmet is pretty badass when he's out in space. Oh, I actually thought that Mojo was joking. I had this image of like, can I buy a real one? And be like, hell yeah. Actually, do they have fast travel around here? No, I guess they don't. All right. I think they did a really good job in concealing loading times in this game, where like the way that they set it up, you don't. I mean, obviously loading time is there, but you don't think of it that way.
To understand why a computer system catastrophically overloaded recently. Technicians are reportedly unsure of what caused the malfunction, or even what the system was originally designed to do. CSEC is investigating the possible vandalism or misuse of public property.
Oh, really? Nice. Hey, Nedwin, what's up, man? Oh God, I gotta remember where the hell he was. Conrad Werner. Oh, he's in the markets, I think. I'm almost positive. Yeah, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. I know, no rest for the weary, right? I got a lot of writing to do too. I just, but I did a lot of, had some good teaching today and stuff that I had to deal with, so. There's my fan. Alright, Conrad Werner.
Hey, Command, there are rumors on the extranet that you've been made the first human Spectre. That's incredible.
Being a Spectre is a big responsibility. I just want to make humanity proud.
The vids are all talking about Commander Shepard fighting for all of us back home.
This guy's a kind of a clown.
And they also say that you don't take crap from anybody. You're showing them what humans can do. Hey, can I get your picture?
Oh my God. It's a little troubling. Just, yeah, good to see you, man. Yeah, Brahms, I do. I'm an author. My first novel came out in 2009. It's a work of epic fantasy called The Third Sign. And I have 2 short stories that came out in 2012 and a bunch of articles for the Sifo Bulletin and my next 2 novels are being shopped as we speak. So, yes, yes. Oh God. All right, go ahead.
Sure, no problem.
Just hold up your gun. Perfect. Thanks again, Commander. I'm gonna hang this in my living room. My wife will love it.
Thanks, Net. Net, you missed a good time with the rest of the Warlock. We're almost done with Warlock on Firetop Mountain, almost. They have to go back and find a couple of extra things, but the mapping was really awesome. If you get a chance to look at the video, you should. The mapping was fun. It was really inspired by... most of the time I don't actually write epic fantasy. I write fantasy, but it's usually a different kind. But this was really inspired by the stuff that got me going as a kid, like Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, kind of a tribute to those guys, Robert Jordan a little bit. But yeah, Game of Thrones is very solid. The guy that I do a podcast called Speculate, which I'm hoping is going to get a Hugo nomination this year, fingers crossed. And so the guy that a good friend of mine who's the co-host of that podcast, it's me and this guy Brad Bollier, who loves Game of Thrones, and his series that he has out from Nightshade Books right now, which is called the Lays of Anaskaya series, that is heavily influenced by Game of Thrones. So yeah, so I have books, and I've even sold a bunch of people on my stream and Kata's stream have actually bought my book. So. Oh, that sucks, Net. Well, whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? This too shall pass, as they say. Wait, I did talk with him. What harm could there be in talking to him? I did talk to him. What the... What? Hey, Inam, what's up, man? Hey, everybody. I was actually, Inam is playing, he does the midday show over at the Destructoid channel, and he's a good guy, and he's been playing through this as well, so he and I have been kind of chatting about Mass Effect and the way that operates. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. Definitely follow Inam. He's got a good stream, guys. What on earth? Thanks, Net. God almighty, I have got to find... I don't want to leave this place, go all the way away, and then have to go all the way back to freaking find what's-his-face. I thought that I was going to come here and it's going to be like, well, you took care of him. Man, really? Brahms. No, you don't. Good. Just playing some ME. Inam has actually played all of the Mass Effects, apparently a number of times, but so he's got the advantage on me, at least story-wise. I have only played about 60% of the way through Mass Effect 1, so... God almighty, check that out. It's beautiful, right? Don't you think so? Hmm? Answer me! Okay. Just kidding. Alright, well, I don't know. I'm going to assume that I'm going to run into this guy again. The fan. Oh, no sweat, dude. A big solid lick, Ned. I am troubled by your terminology. Alright, well, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to hang around, go wander around looking for a random fan. I think I've done what I need to do with him. But I got to go freaking take out, find this guy for Garrus. C-Sec, damn it. There we go. Well, okay, that sounds good. I think that's the second time I've talked to him, Brahms. I'm pretty sure, so...
Admiral Kahoku, a respected member of the Alliance military, has passed away.
Yeah, passed away.
The veteran soldier who won the love of his troops during conflict with the Batarians died of natural causes.
It's bullshit. The guy was killed on a hard planet.
By his wife and 3 children, who are planning a small private memorial service.
That is some nonsense. Are you kidding me, right? I found this guy on a planet after he got taken out by a freaking rogue CIA style force that took him out, like a black ops thing. Man, busted. I gotta go find my journalist contact here. I gotta go find Emily Wong. If you want anything to be spread among the people that should not be spread among the people, you talk to Emily Wong, and then all of a sudden stories happen. So that's what I gotta go do. No, I want that sensationalist media. That's the opposite. They're like, oh, it was, it was really sad. He died of natural causes. Like, come on now. Yeah, that's it. Small world is right.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
I think you play all of the Mass Effects on PS3, right? Because you're mostly a console guy, yeah. Because I was interested in watching you play, and seeing the different override system and stuff with the PlayStation as opposed to what I do with the PC. What the hell? I'm gonna save. Doesn't really matter. No, I believe it. I've already chatted with her a few times about it. About basically her need to go the ultimate ambitious journalist. Okay. Herschel's system and the Kepler Verge. All right, let's do it. Oh, okay. Are there big differences between the 360 and the PS3? Have you found? Kepler Verge. Herschel, let's do it. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, well, that's hardly surprising. Was it Skyrim that had the ever-increasing save bug on the PS3 where, every time you saved it, the save file got so massive that it couldn't handle things after a while? There we go. Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. In addition to standard cargo bay, several biological research modules attached. Registry to Dr. Hart. Well, Dr. Hart, you're about to get boarded. Yeah, I do actually, Lego. Alright, Garrus wanted to come on this one, assuming he's not going to be a hothead. So for Garrus, I usually bring him along with, I think Liara is who I used to balance off. Let's do it up. Oh, I have to level him as well. Yay, increased assassination. Boarded the MSF Fidel. See if Dr. Slane is on board. Well, yes, that's why I'm here. That's okay, Net. Yeah, the one thing I did that I don't think you have done, Inam, is I did the and tell me, by the way, if Inam is not the way. Since we had our little name discussion, make sure you tell me if Inam is the right way to pronounce your name. But the one thing I have done that you haven't done, I believe, is the Bring Down the Sky. I did that whole side mission downloadable thing, which is pretty cool. And I have tasted buckwheat, although I don't actually... I've had buckwheat pancakes. Oh, yeah, well, you could send it along, Lego, sure. Oh, boy.
Kill them all.
Oh, God. What? Test subject. Zombies! Whoa! Get back on your feet, peoples.
It's nothing serious.
Phew. Let's not have that happen again,
All
clowns. Good grief. That's interesting, Lego. Let me warn you, though. Alright, I'm going to heal you people, because... Even though I technically don't need to, but... Let me just warn you about one thing, which is be careful about... Oh, okay, cool, cool. Well, no, you know what? I can't even judge it yet. That's a good start. Be careful not to function in cliche, though, which means that it wouldn't surprise me that someone who has offensive tattoos and an overbearing personality is obnoxious to the parents but really good to the guy in question. So just be careful about not overdoing that and not making it into a cliche. I'm not saying it is a cliche. Just be careful not to do that. But that said, sounds like a cool start. Okay. No idea where the hell I'm going. Yeah, but a good start, though. I'm going to assume that that's where I'm going. Okay. Right, left. Oh, goodness me. Decisions. All right, let's take each one of these in turn. Oh, I can't go that way. All right, well.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me from those things.
Hello, clown.
Commander, that's him. That's Dr. Saleon.
What? My name is Hart. Dr. Hart. Please, get me out of here.
Bullshit. May I ask any more streams tomorrow in your time? Yeah, I think I will have one tomorrow night. My wife and I are going to be doing the whole Valentine's Day thing tomorrow because it worked better schedule-wise. So we're going to be having dinner and stuff like that and watching a movie and all that stuff. I think, like, probably tomorrow evening, I may be doing a recording of my podcast, but after that, I probably will do a stream, and at that point, Citalbo will probably be into map again. So I should be doing it tomorrow. My guess is, like, I don't know, like 11 p.m. my time is when we'll probably do the Warlock thing. Just so you know, for new people to the stream, like, I do, besides Mass Effect, I also stream, if you remember the old Fighting Fantasy game books, I've been streaming those with a guy who does a 3D mapping thing as we play. So basically, the chat kind of takes control of the character and goes through as I, so to speak, DM it, Dungeon Master it, as it were. So that's what this is about.
Are you sure it's him?
Positive. There's no escape this time, Doctor. I'd harvest your organs first, but we don't have the time.
You're crazy. He's crazy. Please, don't let him do this to me.
I don't entirely know. Yeah, I know I do. I know I do need to make a highlight. You're right. I don't entirely know what to make of this. Like, why are the options kill him or back down? Like, can we just arrest him, please?
We'll take him in.
All right, good. That's what
Drop
I
him
want.
off with the military.
That's what I want.
But we have him. We can't let him get away. Not again.
If he dies, we'll never know what he's been up to or how he did it.
There you go.
We'll take him in, interrogate him, and he'll serve his time.
Because of that skill, Lego.
Okay. You're right. You're a very lucky Solarian. You owe the commander your life.
Oh, thank you so very much.
And so he dies anyway. What was the point of that?
That's an excellent point.
You can't predict how people will act, Garrus. But you can control how you'll respond. In the end, that's what really matters.
Yeah. I don't think I ever met anyone like you, Commander.
No, you haven't.
Well, I guess we're done here.
Hey, Tyrannical, what's up? Pale blue, violet, orange, and more than a few dark red, but his work is ended here. Time to head back to Normandy. Alright, level up. What? Level up. Alright. Let's see. What was I doing? Yes, so I was going to go into tactical armor, but I got the shield boost. And I think what I was going to try to do, I was trying to decide if I wanted to go all the way up to... Because I think I have the ability to do... Master shield boost, yeah. I think what I want to do is get fitness so I can get immunity. I think that's what I'm going to aim for next. Sounds good. Thanks, Net. Have fun, man. Hurrah! Alright, so the next level is going to be to get that. And then eventually I'll want to max out the tactical armor. Okay. I can't believe that guy was like, thank you very much, and then runs away from me. Like, what? Seriously, dude? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the PC, you know, the PC overrides. So just very different than what you were doing on the PS1, the PS version. Man, lots of stuff. Oh god, that was terrible. There we go. What else have we got? Oh, what? A wetware kit. What the heck? Whoa! That's right. I've gotta upgrade these amps too. Whoa. Alright, I gotta deal with some of this equipment situation here. Yeah, I would believe it. It's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, what? That's Simon Says, you know. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. That's the one I just bought. That's right. So I was like, no wonder it's so good, because I thought it was good when I first bought it. It's got 3 upgrades. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty nice. I have this the Raikou also. Nice. What the hell? I don't have another upgrade? Wow. Alright. I have to get that, obviously. I think he's probably going to be pretty good, because I got most of this stuff, although already I have a higher explosive. Yeah, no.